going to tell us who killed this guy. Now, whether anybody wants to believe that this is preempted, it was planned ahead of time, it was planned retrospectively, whatever the case may be. This case doesn't hold a DNA attachment that we, the public, are trying to push on it. So we will sit on our social media and keep arguing about why the case itself, we have not been able to that process because the inquest is still haven't determined the cause of death for us to now believe there's a criminality that can be attached to DNA. We are running way ahead of our times simply because we pick up information that we should not have picked up at the earlier stage of this case, which have nothing to do with what we are talking about now. So I challenge anybody. Do you think Mohbad being the father of Liam will change anything? That's the question.
I don't think so. I don't think so. The issue of DNA is just to legitimize Liam as Mohbad's son. It doesn't go beyond that, right? Any DNA without a proper, private, proper private investigation into what actually killed Mohbad would be a waste of time. Just DNA alone is just enough. Even if it comes up that Liam is not Mohbad's son, that would still will not give us any justice. But that can happen. She will just come up and say, oh, blah, 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 I have something with somebody, blah, blah, blah. That's the end of that story. We need both the government, the justice for Mohbad's dad, to actually get a proper private investigator involved that can go in, ask questions from the first day to the last day. Every single person involved, people who can actually speak to them and analyze those interviews and come up with what actually happened. Speak from the driver. I said this like a couple of weeks ago. From the driver, from the events, manager,
I will bring you back, Imole. I will bring you back shortly. Yeah.
From the manager, everybody. We need people or neutral people, private that can go in and do all of that. They come up with the report that this is what actually happened. DNA law, DNA can actually be a motive. Well, it's just one of them. It's not, will not give us a clear what actually happened in the house. CCTV camera or whatever, if they say they haven't got one and we're not able to provide one, and no one has up to now come out to object to that. You just hear says some people have been saying, oh yeah, there's CCTV in the house, until someone can actually come up. Women can come up and say, we haven't got one. If you can't prove that, you can prove it, right? Whatever hearsay is cannot be used in the courts. You need an evidence. So we need in and get evidence to speak to people and get proper evidence to be used in the courts. Otherwise, all this time, we're just wasting our time. We're just wasting our time. The result will come out tomorrow and nothing will happen. Right? So we really need justice for Mohbad. Those of you close to Mohbad's dad needs to tell him he needs a proper private investigator that can go in from day one, speak to every single person involved, from the company where they hire the vehicle from everyone, from the police, the security people on the day, everyone, right? Okay. So until then, we're wasting our time. DNA DNA happens every day, man. DNA will come up. If the result is negative, it's positive, it's going to be nothing.
Yeah, I agree to everyone on this panel. The music platform, thank you so much for bringing me up. Yeah, sometimes you will find me, but most of the time, maybe I'm driving or I'm at work.
All right, so.
Thank you so much. So there is something that is not so that clear to me. Someone said it on this platform. Said Adura said at inquest, there's nobody can boastfully said that he saw Mohbad on Monday. But Adura said on Monday, I went to Mohbad's room and gave him his phone. Adura said again, the Indomie Mohbad vomited, he said I cook it. When did Mohbad eat that Indomie? Is it Sunday or Monday? Monday evening or Tuesday morning? Then
Is this guys?
Excuse me. And again, spending. He said he left Mohbad house later in the evening. And sometimes in the afternoon, Mohbad came from upstairs on Monday. And he said he told him, my friend, are you going to be looking at me? This my hand is giving me problem. And Spendy said that is when he suggests his own nurse. All days are on Monday. So when someone is going to come up here that said nobody saw Mohbad on Monday, I need clarity. I need someone to... I just came here to ask question about Monday. Because Adura cooked Mohbad Indomie, that was on Monday night. Spending left
Otumba, very quickly. So we have people in the house. Welcome, thank you. It's always nice talking to you as usual. So the people in the house, at the end of the day, you have that aspect of Monday. And the only two people that will be able to tell you any story about seeing Mohbad or not seeing Mohbad, because if I am taking food to Mohbad, I'm sure Wunmi can collect it and I might not see Mohbad. One, if I'm taking his phone to him, the same thing may happen. So apart from Adura and Wunmi, really, those two people who are not suspects are the only people that can say they see Mohbad on Monday. What do you think about that situation?
Exactly, that's my problem, IT guys. Because Adura said he prepared Mohbad meal on Monday night, which is Indomie, that Mohbad vomited on Tuesday. And Spending the same thing, said he left Mohbad's house on Monday night. And he suggested the nurse that Mohbad came from upstairs on Monday, maybe around the afternoon. And someone said nobody even see Mohbad on Monday.
Sorry, I muted myself there. That's the reason why I was saying that the people that appear to see Mohbad on the day are witnesses and not of the suspects. Actually, apart from, I mean, those situation is kind of technical, but I don't know when the nurse came there who would have seen. But apart from these two people or this number of people that are witnesses, none of the suspects caught a glimpse of Mohbad. So do we have a camp in the situation as it happened at the time where everybody that is a witness have the same story, and then anyone that is a suspect have different story, which is individual? What's your take in that? Because the people that are witnesses and appear to see Mohbad can be exonerated from blame to a certain extent. Otumba, are you there? Or is he gone? Otumba.
Yeah, I'm away from my phone.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to sort of like think. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, what I was saying is simply that, all the people that may have seen Mohbad on Monday are all witnesses, and the people that are suspects, none of them seem to come up and say they saw him on Monday. So how do you think you can place the situation on Monday in terms of less people saw this guy? And apart from Wunmi, do we believe these other people saw him?
I understand your question now. But one of the suspects said he saw Mohbad on Monday, which is Spendi. Spendi is one of the suspects. Spendi said he left Mohbad's house later in the night on Monday.
He saw him at some point, yeah.
And he said, Spendi said Mohbad came from upstairs.
And that was on Monday.
That was on Monday. He said he came on Monday. He came from upstairs. No, that was on Monday. He said.
So Mohbad. Let's look at it this way. Mohbad came down. He went outside the house.
Yeah, from upstairs. He came to the living room.
But he went outside the house or living room.
Yes.
And spoke with him. So
he spoke with Spendi. And he said, Mohbad said, "Oh, my friend, are you going to look at me? This my hand is giving me problem." That is where they got the injury. That is giving me a problem.
But sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. Sorry,
Otuba. Sorry,
the prince, carry on.
Sorry, there's a question that I want to ask you guys here. This question is not belong to us because we were not there. You guys, you have access to Wunmi, you have access to Adura, you have access to Mohbad. Anyone that can tell you the truth, not us.
Excuse me. This is not the matter of having access.
No.
It is a matter of what they said that the corona.
Don't throw the question that we are not aware, we are not involved to the public. You have access to this people directly. They can talk to you directly. You can ask questions directly. Why are you asking us? We only
how many times have you talked to? How many times have you talked to Baba Mohbad?
Information released out to us. You understand? What is it?
The prince, how many times have you talked to Baba Mohbad to ask this question?
I've spoken with Baba Mohbad. So
what did you ask him?
Why should I? I don't have any right to tell you what I asked him.
So if I talk to him,
I've never asked you a question that I need to ask Baba Mohbad.
Any question?
I've never asked you a question that I need to ask. The question that I need to ask Baba Mohbad.
Excuse me. Yes? Do you think I should come and tell you also? Whatever I ask.
You know this question, but this is a public question. This is a public question. It's a public question.
They don't
that you can ask.
Send me to me.
So what question do you want?
You don't know
ask me a question.
Excuse me.
Tell us the answer then. Tell us the answer
then. You don't know. Maybe I'm asking you before. Maybe you don't know. Maybe I'm talking to you before. I asked you the same question. Have you talked to Baba Mohbad?
You don't let off to be aggressive to each other.
Then I asked, what are the questions you asked Baba Mohbad? You told me that's none of my business. So if I call Wunmi or I don't call Wunmi, that is my personal business too. That is my own personal business. But it's about the question you are asking. What the witnesses said in the court.
It's about the question that you are asking.
That is what I'm referring to.
It's about the question you are asking.
Yes, I'm asking you particularly, please, but because it was you said nobody saw Mohbad on Monday, and I'm putting it to you right here. What Spendi said, and what Adura did.
Adura said anybody that they said they saw their brother on Monday morning at the CTC should come out.
On the Monday morning. Thank you.
Yes, Adura said that they should come out. Okay. Go back and read it. You know, Adura was contradicting himself.
I understand you now.
Yes,
okay, I understand you. But it is same Adura that said he went to Mohbad's room that Monday also. It's same Adura that said on Monday night he cooked indomie for his brother on Monday night. So that means Mohbad was alive on Monday.
Otumba, if you
That's a lie.
Otumba, hold on, the prince. Hold on. Let me quickly say something about what Otumba just said. Otumba, the fact in criminality, the fact that Adura cooked Indomie for Mohbad doesn't necessarily mean that he took the Indomie to Mohbad. He cooked Indomie, and how did the Indomie get to? Did it get to Mohbad through Omowummi?
Let me clear that part.
But the fact that it was cooked doesn't mean it was delivered.
Adura's words about Indomie.
Yes.
He said he cooked that Indomie. They all ate together in the living room. He said, if Omowummi and Mohbad, they ate together in the same place.
Where's the evidence of the vomit? Where's the evidence of the vomit after? The vomit of the... But the vomit of the Indomie.
Vomited on Tuesday.
Yeah, so where's the evidence of vomit?
What is the evidence? You want to ask me that or what?
Yes, exactly. One person is saying, one person in a case is saying someone vomited. And I'm sure if it's true that Mohbad vomited, it should be Adura. Let me finish, Otumba. It should be Adura and Wunmi that should have that story together, because it would have been where he vomited. Yes or no?
Yeah, they have their story together. DJ Bami said he vomited Indomie. Adura said he vomited Indomie. Wunmi said.
And at what time did he vomit this Indomie? At what time did he vomit Indomie? All night? Did he vomit at night and then vomit in the following morning?
It is on in their CTC on Tuesday when that nurse came and injected Mohbad.
You see, this is the thing. Let me tell you something about the vomit. The vomit is ended up in everybody's story, and it actually seemed as if Mohbad himself vomited himself until he died. So he vomited after he's eating, he vomited at night, he vomited in the morning, he also vomited when the nurse was there. So how many times did he vomit? Did he now vomit or pie is what we're talking about? Because this vomit business, even the nurse, after a number of days, let me finish. Even the nurse, let me finish, Otumba. Even the nurse, after a number of days, can still say Mohbad vomited. So how many hours and how many days did he vomit for?
The point is, after he was injected by nurse, when whatever he put to Mohbad, the system reacted. It was in their CTC. Adura said he vomited. The DJ Bami said he vomited. Wunmi said he vomited. After whatever the nurse put in Mohbad system, whatever he injected in, he said he vomited. So one of the things that he vomited
all happened in one
Indomie. Excuse me.
No, hold on.
It was Indomie.
Indomie. Exactly, but when did he take the Indomie?
Before.
Otumba, listen very carefully. You are saying two things and you are contradicting yourself. Mohbad is at Indomie before the nurse arrived. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Mohbad vomited that Adura saw. Was it before or after the injection?
After the injection.
So after the injection, Mohbad then vomited once and everybody saw him.
What do you mean by everybody? Yeah, everybody.
No, what I'm saying to you is only one vomit. Are we talking about just one vomit now?
Whoever that is present is going to see it.
So it's only one, he only vomited one time.
I think so. That is what we are.
No, you see, the thing is that is another flaw in this whole script. He vomited Cynthia that doesn't see when it was injected, Cynthia that doesn't see anything, who was cooking downstairs, had vomit in her statement. Adura, who cooked the Indomie, now told us the indomie he vomited is the one he cooked for him. And yet, when he vomited in the presence of the nurse, we are still talking about the same vomit. And Adura is now able to tell us his indomie he vomited. Do you see how the story is beginning to have K-leg? Do you see where it's beginning? Do you see where the story is beginning to have K-leg?
The IT guy, wait. Otuba, wait. The IT guy, see, you are just giving a reflect on Otuba's statement. You're not actually giving a reflect on the real statement. If you are finding evidence on that real statement, then you can come out and give it.
No, what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying is breaking something down. It's not trying to apportion anything. What I'm trying to say is vomit appeared in 3 different statements. And someone out of the people that experienced it said is the indomie he cooked for him. My question is, how long ago since the indomie was cooked and he ate it and he vomited?
That is the right question you should have thrown to Otuba.
So that's where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Now that the vomit is happened, we are now in agreement that everybody saw one guy, this guy vomited once.
Yes.
That is exactly what I'm trying to establish now.
Yeah.
So he only vomited once, but the vomit was after the injection. But Adura was able to link the vomit to the food he cooked for him. In his statement.
You know, it could be.
And why?
Vomits.
No, that is what I'm. Yeah. Let's talk. Let me see the rest of your name. I'm sorry, I need to click on something. Let's talk with Elijah. So let's talk with Elijah. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to establish. You see, the problem we have here, Elijah, is that when you bring vomit into the picture, let's be precise and concise about what we meant by the vomit, because what I'm questioning is someone attributing his vomit to indomie. And that's the reason why I want to know whether all the vomit happened in one go.
When the vomit happened.
Let me take it step by step. Maybe he has vomited earlier, and then when he vomited again, I'd rather then link this one to the food, because he's vomited the food in the first place. And then he then vomited after it was injected. Which means no. Let me finish up. I'm just rounding it off. So which then means there is something about the vomit, and there is something about the people that witnesses the vomit, but there is still association to the vomit based on the injection. But then people are also saying, this guy is single-handedly saying it could be the food he gave him. So which one is it, injection or food?
It could be any one of them.
Exactly. So we need to get the people in authority to go back and get the vomit story correct. If he reacts to the what's it called, the medication, if he reacted to it at the time and he vomited, question is, has he vomited before?
It could be. It could be after eating the indomie. He couldn't stand the indomie and he vomited. Then after the injection, sometimes some people get irritated when they take certain maybe pills or maybe a medication or whatever it is. So where injection is also medication. So after some medication, some people get nausea and they vomit. So it could be multiple vomits. It could be like every single minute vomit.
And I'm with you, Elijah. That's what I want to understand. It has to be a situation. You see, if I vomited right now because someone believes is a rice I ate, it might not be the rice that I ate. It could be something that disturbed my system and I vomit. So we're looking at one aspect of things where vomit may have happened before, or that vomit is just one single vomit that everybody saw. And then if you believe what you saw is indomie, then we are consistent that this guy only vomited once, and that is when we're going to believe that is the injection that made him vomited. Because the vomit story cannot have two handles to it. He has to have one handle. If he has two handles to it, then we're looking at stories that are not consistent.
Yeah, the IT guy. I'm not even talking about whatever he vomited or whatever he vomited. That is not my concern. My concern is someone said, maybe the prince, that no one, and the TB Kenny said no one saw Mohbad on Monday. And if you go back to spending CTC at inquest, same thing Adura is CTC. He said he cooked Indomie, and that was Monday night. And spending also, he said he left Mohbad house later in the evening. And Mohbad came from upstairs, came to downstairs to the living room, and they both spoke on Monday. That's around the afternoon. Go and check the CTC.
Yeah, but we have a problem there where the public is confused. All we need to say, hold on. All we need to say,
right from the morning, nobody saw Mohbad.
All we need to say, let's listen to the way English sometimes confuses people. All we need to say is, although Mohbad was seen in the morning, nobody saw Mohbad later in the evening. So it's still the same Monday. So when you say nobody saw this guy on Monday, it's a fallacy if they saw him in the evening, because it's still Monday evening. So if we want to say no one saw him, it's either no one see him at all or they saw him later in the day. We need to distinguish between the two.
Yes, exactly. But they said nobody saw him on Monday at all.
You can ask Adura now. It was Adura that made that statement. Not
nobody saw him at all. That is someone's statement. But a lot of people saw him.
They saw Mohbad after Monday. That is what Adura said. Adura is the one you need to question. Go back and read what Adura said.
But who do we blame?
Then Adura ni yuko egwada lo so Adura. Then Adura ló contradict rẹ̀ nínú nǹkan tó lọ sọ.
Nǹkan tó sùn tí nínú statement Adura.
Well, Adura ló sọ ẹni tó bá rí ló sọ la máa sọ. Adura sọ pé ẹni tó bá náà ń rẹ́gbọ̀n after Monday morning kó wá sọ. Ìyẹn làwọn amọ̀jọ ẹ̀yin náà dẹ̀ máa kìtìtì. Adura náà ń kébì.
TB, I want to say something here. You know, at the beginning of this conversation, at the beginning of this conversation, I said, let us analyze the statement of these people and compare and contrast the statement, all their statements. Their statement they contradict each other. Their statements are not aligned with the incidents. They say A, B.
Thank you, the Prince. Otumba, sorry, the Prince. Otumba, please don't run away. You say when you run away, we are likely not to finish this conversation, and you are likely to get into similar conversation. Hold on, let me finish, please. You are likely to get.
I have like 3 minutes more for my break. I'm at work.
All right, okay. We allow you. God bless. Thank you. Yeah, so everyone, there we have it. Because when we're looking at the CTC,
they can never stand the heat, you know.
No, the Prince. Let's respect what he just said, please. If I'm at work, I will tell you the same thing. So let's just, because he's no longer here right now, let's just respect what he said. So that aside, really, at the end of the day, we've got to a juncture right now. Is I say you need to look at certain similarities in stories. If something is going to be investigated forensically, you look at consistency in stories. Or if you tell those people to tell you the same story, they will tell you this differently, and that is where a particular pattern that is consistent will bring inconsistent results if you probe it properly, because it's not conclusive at that point. So at this point in time, anybody's submission to the police their narration about vomit should now be put side by side and corroborated, and it will now be able to now, and hold on, it will now allow us to know the variation in times of vomit, provided I vomited more than once.
Sorry, my question is this, like, I don't know if anybody have access to Adura CTC that made some statement that nobody saw his brother on Monday. Because someone was putting in the comment section saying that Adura said nobody saw his brother after 12 noon. And you can't just tell me that nobody saw your brother after 12 noon. Like, you were not the only one working. You were not the only one in the house. The question that we asked, are you the only one in the house after the 12 noon? Anybody could have come inside the house and later saw Mohbad. People might be downstairs. You can later come out of the house to see people. So I
really don't understand how no one in one statement. No one in one statement is also at another statement in the further on to say after 12 p.m. So which one is it? No one. It's a very big statement and a very brave and a very bold statement. And then you water it down later, then you thought about it because you've placed yourself in a position where you say you cooked him Indomie on Monday. So you now have to put it back in there after 12 p.m. Because obviously vomit story is going to come. And we now know that you said you cooked him Indomie. You have to integrate when you submitted the food to the guy into the story. Mm-hmm. Because you contradicted the story where you say no one saw him on Monday. You suddenly realize that you gave him food on Monday because in his vomit, you've mentioned that is the Indomie you cooked for him yesterday. So that story there, that will not get K-leg, so.
Okay, the IT guy, please, can we just not let it slide, but can we just focus on the topic of the peaceful debate on DNA, because that was why I'm up.
Yeah, I think really I can realign things back again if you want, because I've been there before. If you want me to realign that, I can realign it. Please. So where we got up to before you joined, then you asked your question is that if the result at the end of the day turns out to be that Mohbad is Liam's father, is that going to make a change to this case? Is it going to make any change at this stage? Are we still going to be fighting to find out how he died? So carry on.
Definitely, yes. We just have to put that one aside and continue with the investigation about what really killed.
Sorry, the prince. Let Elijah talk and then take over from us. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Elijah. So, concern right now is that I heard of like right now the latest I just heard, because if you want to so call it that women's team, I can boldly say I'm women's team. Right, and I am for justice, and I can say that right now there's a situation saying they asked Baba to come and sign for DNA. Wunmi already signed, so it's left for Baba to sign. So what is holding Baba? And are they saying Baba, people that are around Baba, going around about this DNA autopsy or whatever, are they coming out to say the truth to the public about what the outcome of the court they go all the time? Yeah, so right now we have to be sure that they are giving us latest or they are giving us updates about the court case, because there are so many things going on that is not being discussed online right now. Whatever they discuss online is just ones that are favors them. They bring out.
So very quickly before
I just want to ask. I just want to ask that
us here.
You get it. You get the latest about anything scientific.
I want to understand something, and the audience is trying to understand something from your statement and your submission. You mentioned something about a paper being signed. Where did you get that information from? That's the first question. Where did you get the information from? And secondly, at this point in time, where can the public reach out to go and get the information that Wunmi has signed a paper to do a DNA test and Baba also signed it? Is it hearsay from you, or is it something that you can actually put a cast iron on right now and tell us where we can get that information? Thank you.
Yeah, so I said it previously that I don't have a proof, even though I didn't mention proof. I said there's a hearsay saying that right now, the court, they went to maybe yesterday or something, somebody should come and sign. That Wunmi already signed over to sign. So now my own thing is that,
hold on, the prince. Hold on, the prince. Let Elijah speak,
because
please.
you know why I'm worried is that, updating, part of the problem is that we need to have updates. I just said it's hearsay, right? So is there anything that Baba is letting, or people that follows Baba to court or something, are they actually giving enough information? I would not even say enough. I would say current information concerning the DNA autopsy or whatever they're doing. Because
Elijah.
Last 6 months, Wunmi sent a lawyer to court that she will not do the DNA. They did not ask Baba.
Hold on, Abati. Let me just moderate this. Imole, first of all, mute yourself. Yeah, mute yourself. Let me speak with Elijah right now. So, Elijah, we've taken everything you said on board, and we also know that hearsay is hearsay. We on this platform at this point in time, between yourself and myself, I don't think we should be narrating anything to do with someone signing a paper and the other person not signing it. Let's not make it official, right? Now, let's not make it official. So your question, the way I can answer it to the best of my ability is that the inquest itself is actually got up to a point where the result of the toxicology is inconclusive, so we know. In the direction of Wunmi's camp, it is now up to Wunmi's camp and Baba Mohbad to educate the public about the process that the system is put in place for the family to meet in a family court and debate this thing between themselves. Now, when the court issues such, when there is issues for you to attempt to reconcile, they will give you a number of days in which you can sit down, get the lawyers around and all that. If at the end of it, nothing conclusive comes out of it, the judge may rule and just throw the whole thing out of the window anyway. We don't know what the outcome will be. So at this point in time, nobody should come up with a narrative that someone is signing something anyway. It's just that they are in a position where they should, and we don't know, but where they should be in a family court talking about this and trying to negotiate amongst or between themselves to find a way forward. So let's not bring any form of narratives on any platform. And I know Imole started something off. But I just want us to finish on your side before we move to the other side.
Okay, so now let me give my submission. So I just wanted to go into that because right now, before coming down to this platform, that's what I just heard, right? So now I want to give my own submission concerning the case of DNA. Now, DNA can be used for the investigation. And why did I say that? Yes, if DNA can be a motive. Yes. Liam can be a motive. Yes. It can be part of the investigation. Yes. Now, the very first thing is that if there's a DNA done and it comes out positive, regardless, it comes out positive, that doesn't rule out Wunmi as a murderer. And that doesn't rule out Wunmi by somebody or did not buy somebody. That's number one. And if it comes in negative, doesn't mean Wunmi buy the husband or did not buy the husband. DNA can only explain some certain case, some certain thing that happened before the demise of Mohbad, can only explain some certain thing. That one, Prime Boy said there was a fight. There was a discussion concerning maybe traveling abroad or about Liam. But it could solve some questions. It could solve it. It could have an answer to what all those people that have been giving their own all those like the likes of Prime Boy, Splendid, everybody that is involved in this case. It can only back up whatever they are saying that happened in a particular scene. Let's say when they were traveling, coming from the show, the travel between the show and the house, right? There was an incident that happened. There was an argument. There was a fight. Now somebody is saying there's a fight between Wunmi and Mohbad concerning Liam. Somebody is saying so DNA could give answers to those questions. But might not give the results to the death of Mohbad. If we want to look into this case very well and we want to caution ourselves, if you are getting a DNA to answer that you want to know if Liam is Mohbad's son, yes, the DNA is needed. They can do DNA and find out if Liam is Mohbad's son for the sake of record, for the sake of public that wants to know, for the sake of Baba Mohbad that wants to be sure Liam is his grandson. But right now, when we find out that Liam is truly Mohbad's child, what is going to happen next? Are we still going to go into the investigation? Are we going to throw away all the evidence from the coroner inquest? Are we going to throw away everything? No. So I think we should start channeling our energy into a different thing. DNA is a must, yes. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a party to go do the DNA. It's a must. But I will boldly say again that Wunmi has our own choice to do the DNA. Baba has his own right to ask for DNA, just to satisfy himself, saying that Liam is his grandson. Not because of today, not because he wants to solve Mohbad's death, but to satisfy himself. If that is what Baba wants to do, fine to him. Then about Mohbad's rights and Mohbad's estates and everything. If it confirms that Liam is Mohbad's son, definitely Liam will be willed to all those things and he will have access to those things. But in the law, I am not sure what Wunmi did with Mohbad. Maybe it was just a traditional wedding that doesn't have a legal binding, or they did a traditional wedding, but the traditional wedding is, I don't know how Nigerian law works when it comes to traditional wedding. But if traditional wedding is being recognized as maybe legally or whatever it is, that can stand Wunmi to get all Mohbad's rights, all Mohbad's estates and everything, then Wunmi, as Mohbad's wife, has rights for everything. So if that is what some people wants to get, then you are not heading anywhere, because Wunmi is
Elijah, you've spoken well, but you appear to have modeled something up towards the end of it. You actually spoke well, and you're right about everything you said.
Yeah,
so I'm just looking at a twist. I'm looking at a twist. So what we've got, the outcome of the DNA is that the child is Mohbad's child, and then from that point on, we know that in terms of inheritance, in terms of royalty and everything that comes from Mohbad, the child is entitled. Albeit, it could still be a situation where family negotiates and maybe set something up with Wunmi in trust for the son to make sure that he is the one that will benefit from it when the time comes. So that is one side of it. On the contrary, let me finish. I won't finish that. Yeah.
No, I just want to ask a question. I didn't get something right.
Yeah.
So you mean after the DNA is being done?
We are talking after DNA now, and the DNA is in favor that Mohbad is the father of the child. Yeah, and then we can look at, even if the deceased did not leave any will, Wunmi doesn't have to contest anything, but Wunmi can get our lawyers to engage with Baba's family and actually sort of like try and nullify or put something in place that will benefit the child's future, right? Now, on the contrary, it then turns out that the child is not Mohbad's child. So now the family are now looking at it from a different angle, from a different angle where they realize that the child doesn't own any right. Hence, now that the guy is that, because that guy is not his father, then there won't be anything unless there is a will, which we know there is no will to applicable to that child, because that child is not Mohbad's child in the first place. And no royalty or any form of inheritance can go in that direction. Wunmi is now fronted with the situation where she's coming to her family and have to now look at the estate of somebody who is your husband customarily on one side, but the fact that you are now facing the family directly with an offspring, I'm not quite sure whether we will be negotiating the family, handing everything over to Wunmi. Do you think? And if you've seen that happen anywhere, please
sorry,
enlighten.
IT guy, can I say something?
In Nigeria,
I call my lawyer.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, no.
What I was told by
no,
lawyer?
No, hold on. Let me finish with Elijah first. Let me finish. Yeah, you will come in. Yeah, I'm still trying to engage Elijah right now. So when you look at it from a customary, you see the thing is, someone is trying to bring legal process in, but I'm not talking about the legality of this whole thing. I'm talking about the customary side of it. So the law may then have something to say, and that may be interpreted differently. But as far as this union is concerned, from a traditional point of view, Wunmi is now at a loss to a certain extent. Why? Because it will be difficult for her to have a full authorization and full veto on Mohbad's estate if there is no paper to say she is legally from the English wedding marriage side of things to Mohbad. So on the customary side, yes, you are husband and wife, or you have a union, but it is not nullified in a way where it would then be debated in court. The question is, we should all educate ourselves from a customary point of view without bringing the law in. Where would Wunmi have found herself? And then TB, Kenny, you can then carry on. if you know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to finish one thing up and come into yours.
Number one.
Yes.
Let me go to the part that they said Baba wanted to sign. Baba refused to sign. If you go to the Punch said due to some external factor, not internal factor. External factor should be it could be what we were saying on the internet, it could be or something. So that tells you it's not about signature, it's about something else. Wunmi was not at the court. Wunmi lawyer was at the court. That's been done. That's been said. Then I asked my lawyer because I need to know really what goes on. My lawyer said when women engage to Mohbad, they have a customary court that they are supposed to take it to for Wunmi and Mohbad to sign. Then they are supposed to have put it to the newspaper, I think for 30 days or something, that so I went customary. That they didn't do that. That is a disadvantage for Wunmi. That even if they fight all these things, at the end of it, I'm sorry to say, Elijah, you might not want to hear this. Wunmi is at the loss of the whole thing. According to my law, I spoke to two lawyers. They said, one, they would then send them back to Olorebi, which is Baba Mohbad. Because it's Baba Mohbad that paid the dowry for that engagement. It is Baba Mohbad now. The lawyer that I spoke to said, now they will now say, Mohbad didn't write any will. They should then take as a matter of fact, even if they go to pro bono or something like that, the state is a pro bono that they will go to whatever by the state. Pro bono will take a percentage for me able to sit down with them and tell them the process and everything. I think it's about 20% of Mohbad property or something like that. Then they would send it back to Olorebi. Olorebi is the one that will now sit down. Liam doesn't have full of it. Liam only take a percentage, which will not be given to Liam until Liam is 18. The Olorebi, which is Baba, will now sit down and call the whole family and said, okay, if Wunmi did the DNA, but if Wunmi refused to do the DNA, then the Olorebi will now tell Wunmi, I know this is my grandson, but you see, I have to do the DNA in order for me to give you what Liam deserves. Then Wunmi will have no choice but to do the DNA. So once Wunmi do the DNA and the baby belongs to Mohbad, then they will now, Wunmi will be there. Then they will now tell, Olorebi will now say, okay, this is my son property that belongs, or not all of them, let me correct, Wunmi people, please. Let's settle this thing. Let the family go settle it. All of them did not belong to Liam. Take it. Even Adura is entitled to part of it. Olorebi will now divide it, and they will give Liam what belongs to Liam. They will give Yam Mohbad what belongs to Yam Mohbad. They will give Baba Mohbad. They will give Blessing. They will give Adura. They will give anybody that is involved in the family. Then they will now give Wunmi whatever they want to give Wunmi. Wunmi is at the loss here. Liam is not at the loss. Then they will now tell Wunmi that Liam is a baby. Liam will go into trust fund. But Liam is going to school. Liam needs a welfare. They will now be taking a portion of it for Liam every month to take care of Liam until Liam turns 18. Then they will now call another meeting back and say, Liam, this is what your daddy left for you. They will now hand it over to Liam. That is it. That is why I said this case they are fighting. They need to take it off the social media. And Wunmi needs to go and beg the father-in-law. Father-in-law needs to forgive. Let me finish. Father-in-law needs to forgive Wunmi. According to what I was told, this case is so complicated. Because I had to call yesterday and say, I need to know what is going on with this case. And they said, let me tell you something. All this thing they are fighting, they're still going to come back to settle it. But as they are going now, they just want the state to take part of what the poor boy worked for, because the state is still going to take their own percentage for solving it and then send it back to Olorebi. So this thing is still have to revolve around them.
Okay. And
Liam will not lose anything. Liam will gain because Liam will go to college and everything. But once Liam is 18, they will hand it back to him. Okay. I'm listening to you. Go ahead as a lawyer. Please go ahead as a lawyer.
No. The reason why I am here is because I like that topic. And I love the fact that it's a peaceful debate, right? Even though I am not here for the debate, but I'm here to hear another side to the DNA, apart from where I am, right? Now, I want to ask a question. You were saying that at one point, Baba, that about the DNA signature that I mentioned earlier, you said Wunmi representative went to the court, right? CB? Is CB there?
Yes.
So if Wunmi representative is there, did Wunmi representative sign according to Punch this morning?
That is what I'm telling you. Go and read the Punch again. We don't know what goes on. The Punch newspaper said due to external factor. It could be anything. So we can't say anything about that.
One coming out to give us information. There should be action. They will be factually the information now, not.
If it's external factor, that means it's between the. I don't know. We don't know what the external factor is.
Let me tell you what.
So we don't know what that one is.
Abati,
we can't judge that one.
You need to understand. There is a need for disclosure. If they actually get this family to go to a family court, between then and the outcome of it, even if they share that information with a media house, the media house will not be able to put a comment on what is meant to be confidential because the conversation is still going on in the background. So Punch is going to give you an idea that something is happening and they are right to not to contravene the law, and the people that are involved are also right not to disclose.
Yeah, but I think I understand
what they are not supposed to. So for now, that Punch will not lead us in the right direction.
I'd like to ask a question that in this report from Punch, was there any signation that was signed by Wunmi's legal team? TB Kenny.
They didn't put any signature there that was signed.
They just frame a word. They just frame a word that's internal factors, right?
We don't know what it is. External factor. Could be because external factor could be maybe people we are shouting too much on the internet, or maybe it's maybe it's this. We don't know. So we can't just say Baba didn't sign.
Wait. It is just the DNA to come into conclusion between Baba and Wunmi, right?
Yeah, because you guys are saying Wunmi didn't sign. The Baba side are saying
wait.
Wunmi refused DNA. So everybody's playing a win-win game.
But wait. The question is this: like, okay, fine. There is no fact out there that is telling us if it is Wunmi that is running away or if it is Baba that is running away. But the factor that I'm asking is that what is that external factor do you think that can cause them?
We don't know. I can't say because you don't know what it is. Don't jump to conclusion. So we don't know. Everybody is Wunmi saying it's Baba that doesn't sign. Baba is saying the
external factor. The external factor is other aspect of the situation that is still contestable and debatable. There is another party involved.
The IT guy, see,
right? When you look at it, go on.
What I'm saying is this: the Baba wanted the DNA. He said DNA is a must. Now, if they are coming into a conclusion that we should come on a common ground and get this DNA done. I'm now thinking that what is that thing that might cause them not to come into a common ground anymore?
No.
Or am I getting it wrong?
When you look at external factors can be likened to kind of different constraints. A lot is coming to this case right now that is not making the request for DNA being straightforward, because the request for DNA has a lot of conditions to it, which is now created that massive, intense contention. Yeah, it's now created a contention in places that is actually allowed external parties to be part of the process. It's now no longer a direct request for DNA.
Yes.
It's no longer. So that is where the external factor will come in. So that means that they may finish this process and not conclude anything, and it's up to the judge to allow them more time, and then that more time would then be the mitigating circumstances will be based on the judgment of the judge if they can't come up with any credible agreement between them. So the DNA request should have been done properly without any conditions. But because DNA request has now got conditions in it, and you've got contention in there, where one part of it is to do royalty, inheritance, and the other side of it is to do with criminality. So you can see that what is supposed to be a straightforward request, I am contesting. How dare you tell me to provide DNA because you want to know whether it's a true father of the child that married my husband? Do you think every woman will take that from you?
Nobody.
Which woman on the land do you think will accept that from you? So that's an external factor.
That's an external factor. That
hasn't made it straightforward.
In fact, IT guy, thank you for sorry, I have thank you for actually saying that that fact, and that's the truth. And like what I was reading when I heard about the external factor right now, you just explained one of the most important. Right, there was even a case that was noted here concerning external factor when it's affecting a case, right? And for that situation, for that reason, people should please, both in Mohbad side and Wunmi side, should try as much as possible to make this case easy for the DNA, or else nobody's gonna get the DNA results.
Thank you very much. That's what
I'm gonna get the DNA results.
They are saying they don't have Baba inside. Baba see me say Wunmi don't want. We don't know what is in it. But we all conclude because everybody wants to say
because of the contention, no side wants to be complicit. You see, when a case is complicated, what happens is that if you request for DNA and you get it easy, you are likely to come up with something more complicated and think you can get it that easily. But the case has been allowed to be complicated, but on the other side, the resistance sometimes is not to do with the ask. Is to do with the method in which you are asking and the proposition, the foundation that is being based on can be inheritance. Because for you and the connive with father's child to inherit the whatever, and then also the family also will be fighting for if Liam is not a Mohbad's child, you're getting nothing. So all those external forces is what the judge will say, this one is becoming really silly. You guys need to sit down and try and iron the situation out. And that's why I say sometimes when Paparano is going on, the negotiation is taking place in the background, you can see that negotiation is taking place everywhere. But negotiation is not sort of like to nullify weaknesses, to start looking at weaknesses. It is just to do with the civil aspect of this case. The civil aspect of it will look at the point that this family used to have unity at some point. Baba Mohbad and Wunmi will be seen in their white robes, singing, going to church, doing selfie video and all that kind of stuff. And the civil aspect of a family problem is that it is not as if you guys are enemy. It is not as if you guys haven't done things together before. Why don't you take this time out and see if you can iron it out amongst yourself? And there will be a lot of this case.
You can make a resolution.
That will keep bringing out this civil stuff. Unfortunately for us, we are misguided sometimes when Wumi's camp will drop one audio, we get distracted, we follow the audio. The sister said this, the father said it. This is not what we are talking about here. They can distract us as much as they can, but this case is Bekuleo Pani, Udeole Pani, in his entirety. In his entirety, is Tikuleo Pani, Udeole Pani. Trust me.
The IT guy, what I just, the reason, that's one of the reasons why I'm coming up here to say that, because I actually read a little bit about the Punch right now, because I couldn't go in depth in it. I couldn't read more than what I'm reading right now, because I'm using just one phone. But what I want to say here is that Wumi's team and Baba Mohbad's team, and we should just try as much as possible to make this thing easy, because there's a lot of motives are behind this DNA, and it's not going to give us the results we want, right? Baba Mohbad's team, if you know you need a DNA, let's don't give too many reasons for the judge to feel this is going to bring more problem, because if it comes out that Liam is not for Mohbad. Let's say Liam is not for Mohbad, and it comes out that everybody's going to be screaming, "Oh yeah, it's for Elegushi. Oh yeah, Elegushi was the one that killed Mohbad." Then it's going to bring in another. That I think that's what IT guy is trying to say. That at the end of the day, it's going to bring another topic, and it's going to go wilder than what we are looking into. And at the end of the day, it might even not solve Mohbad's case. It might not. Then it's going to bring out another thing. So sometimes everybody just needs to let this family see how they can do it and have their own family something, and discuss about how they can go about it. In fact, this DNA.
Let's talk. Sorry, before you continue.
Yeah,
what actually happened is that they don't want the result of the DNA to come to the public. Maybe that was the reason the Baba did not sign.
I think it's a Wumi team that is pushing. Wumi team are the ones saying
You see, we don't know.
Please,
Don't let's come.
I'm just saying it now.
Please, let me land. So they don't want the result, either positive or negative. They don't want the result to come to the public, because they know that the what's going to follow it is not going to be funny. So maybe that's the reason why Baba did not sign what's supposed to sign. Maybe that's the signature that they were talking about. You get it?
Okay.
Is that the moment external factors are mentioned, you will need to kind of look at it critically and actually find that there are complicated conditions on both sides that will make either side reluctant to want to sign. So, it's not someone agreeing to sign, it's the conditions in which, say for instance, I come to anyone and then, your father lives up to the age of 100 and he dies. And as soon as he dies and you think you're going to inherit everything, I've now come to you to say that I have something for you. I have all this package, I have blah, 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 but you need to sign here. And once you sign here, we look after everything on your behalf whilst you're alive, but we take 10%. And then you can say to me, no, I don't want to sign anything. It's my father's property. I just want to inherit it. You understand what I'm saying? So there is something, maybe your father is signed, that you then need to go and contest in court. So the moment you start bringing condition, a straightforward situation becomes not that straightforward. And everybody have got, oh, you abuse me too. You decided that you're going to say to me, I should do DNA because you think is a true father of the child that killed that died your son. And before you know it, narratives are going left, right, and center because the case is been allowed to develop into something so complicated that the initiation of the word DNA in the beginning of the case hasn't helped the case because the need for it wasn't really necessitated at the time. But some people obviously will want to get something out of it. It could be one side, someone saying she's a widow. It can be on another side where someone is saying, if she's a widow, uncle, will you want someone to buy your own child and then you allow the woman that bought him to take the whole thing away? So with the public being sort of like the biggest judge in this whole process, and actually I've now got into the mind of these people because we've debated this thing on social media relentlessly. We've flogged this whole thing like a donkey that is about to die. So if we can see it as complicated, do you not think they will see it as complicated? Baba Mohbad is come to say Agarasha. She is come to say Baba Lapiopio. Family is divided already. So where it's supposed to be straightforward, okay, I will do DNA then. It's now become what you are accusing me for. How dare you do that? You caused me to abuse you. And Mama Mohbad will come up with his own. The children and all these ones. So you have all this thing coming from left, right, and center. But we don't know who is not signing. No, the thing is, we don't know who is not signing. Let's not start jumping to conclusion because you see, for every side, Baba Mohbad side will say is Wunmi people. Wunmi people will say is Baba Mohbad. So we don't know. But we just know that what we need to give to them is the directive of the court that say they have to engage for a number of days, which if no one signs, when that day elapses, they go back to court, and court will now make a decision about the way forward, whether they give them additional time, after which the court will then look at it and say, because you guys are not serious, DNA is null and void. There is no longer a legitimacy or a validity for it. And there may be, based on the way both sides actually present their case. So at this point in time, even if the Punch newspaper doesn't know, why should we be speculating?
And this should have been an okay. So IT guy, if you remember when I gave my first when I asked the question, these are the information Baba should have given to his own people.
What sort of information can Baba give to his own people?
The outcome of, since Punch cannot say it.
No, what I'm trying to say to you, because you've never been involved in something like this, I wouldn't want to wish it on you and don't wish it on yourself, right? So the situation right now is that when you engage in a process that is so public this way, the court would have actually sort of like cautioned both parties that this matter is to be kept out of the public domain. Everybody would have signed that allegiance to confidentiality. So they will not be able to divulge any information to Punch unless they want to be in contempt of court, which justice, whatever it is, can then work against them. So both sides will be very cautious and very careful. They will only attest to the fact that, there's something going on of a family sort of like engagement and all that kind of stuff. And that is as much as we can tell you. But subject to external factors, we are where we are today. And those external conditions also hold water because neither side wants an easy way, because the demand is beyond. You say lawyers will allow you to cover every areas. So the demand at this point in time on both sides is beyond just DNA. Is beyond the outcome of DNA. Is become on remuneration or profit from royalty, inheritance, estates. All these things will have consequences based on what you say yes to and based on what the outcome then turns out to be. So it's a situation that both sides actually believe that they will lose something, not knowing what the outcome will be or knowing what the outcome would be. It is still 50-50. The situation is either yes or no. So it is still either yes or no, and whichever way, yes has its own consequences on either side, no also has its own consequences on another side, and regardless of what the outcome is, no, not a single side will benefit better than the other. Trust me.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why the courts.
And it might not even solve. It might not even solve
the thing is in a situation like this, in England, for instance, and various other countries, and I'm sure it includes Nigeria, whether it's customary marriage or not. Now, let me tell you something. If a woman lives with you in England and you've conjugated with the woman for 10 years, and the woman is actually born as an have children for you, you've had children, you've lived together for 10 years, you are classed as a common law housewife. For the guy to get you out of his life, he will be willing to give 50%. So sometimes you don't have marriage to happen, but there are conditions that can constitute you into a normal housewife. Which means without a divorce, you can still get 50% of the estate. Yes.
I even want to say something before I forget. That aspect you just said, yes, where the part where I am right now, common law kicks in 6 months living together with your partner.
Yeah, maybe they've changed it now. It used to be 10 years. I don't know whether they've changed it now.
Where I am, the part where I am right now. That's what they do.
Yes, in England, that's the 10 years, yeah.
In fact, they put a restriction. In fact, they take it seriously. They take this particular one seriously. Like there was a case that I know about that this guy and this lady they've been together and they've been doing things together and they go to the same church actually. So something happened to the lady, then she died, right? And she owns one or two things, and they gave everything to the guy. They don't even have a child together. They gave everything to the guy. And the reason why they did that was that they said they've been sharing bills, they live together. So definitely there has been some kind of a big contribution. So whatever they make during that 6 months, after that, whatever they make during that 6 months together, it's for both of them. So if one is gone, the other one have to have everything. The only thing that they are not going to be having is if some things are not, because there are some things that the father of the lady is in the name of the father of the lady or something. So they said that one can be given to the father. But because the girl is an international student, actually, so they give everything out. Yeah.
In Wunmi's case, yeah. And if we're looking at the legal system, even in our country, whether it's customary marriage or not, obviously they expect them to have registered the union after a period of time. And someone did say part of the process is you put a picture in the newspaper that you and this person are married, and then you go and get a certificate or whatever the case may be. Now, the thing is that as long as the court itself can actually find documentation and they can find information about the ceremony, the courts will still be lenient to a point to treat it almost similarly. Because if Wunmi is served Mohbad as a wife and they've conjugated and lived together for a period of time, and if the child then turns out to be theirs as well, so you can actually see that there is a union in there, and based on that unity, and based on the fact that Wunmi's camp can actually provide information about when they got married, although they've been careless not to have registered it or done what they need to do, the evidence will still be there. The lawyers will still be able to argue the aspect of it to actually nullify the fact that, not to actually ascertain the fact that they were married. And then that condition of marriage will hold to a certain extent. But then the problem she will then have is how the family then contest it, where the family will also say, there isn't anything customary because you never really registered the word. You can see how complicated it is, even though it's supposed to be easy. So whichever way you argue this side to, you'll see it on the other side that you have to go to the other end again to start negotiating to be able to meet in the middle, because what you are taking to the middle is being contested before you get there. And that's why you said the thing is that in law sometimes it is the technicalities that either debunk something, stop it from happening, that simple technicality that will just make something happen. And sometimes the outcome of it may not be to the liking of the observers or the public. So if we are divided in the way we are, because our allegiance is actually subject to where we hung on to originally as far as this case is concerned, after 10 months, it's now time for us to start having intelligent and intellectual conversation so that we can now come off and win ourselves all the narrative of she's a widow, she's mourning, she's this, she's a devil. We come off that and we now realize that the outcome of this DNA, as much as people want it, when they get it, it's literally like you've put your expectation on Peter Obi to win the presidency, and if not Peter Obi, it will have to be Atiku, and suddenly Tinubu wins. Suddenly Tinubu wins out of nowhere. You understand what I mean? It will knock you out for a bit. It will knock you out for a bit, and then you think, oh my God, how did that just happen? And then how do you then collect yourself now to now say, okay, so all this argument I've been having with people on this other side, so this DNA thing we've been talking about for them, it doesn't really matter. The case is still in the same place, despite the outcome. You understand?
Yes,
and we might still end up there.
That doesn't mean
we might still end up there.
Because okay, Liam is Mohbad's son. Maybe after the DNA, it proves positive that Liam is Mohbad's son. It doesn't mean Wunmi doesn't have an involvement in his husband's death.
It doesn't change anything. That is what I'm trying to say.
But if it comes out negative, it still doesn't mean she has something to do with
it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. We know what we know. Yeah, we know what we know. We know what we know, and we know what we want.
Yes,
so
and the funny thing is that
yes,
you are actually helping those people with the way everything is going on. You are actually helping those people that buy this guy to run away.
Well, the thing is, yeah, that is what happens sometimes during the war and all that kind of stuff. By the time people sort of like decide, okay, let's stop fighting, let's treat all the people that are injured and all that kind of stuff, and then suddenly you realize that you and the other party are able to do things together better and all that, you're now asking yourself a question: who really started this war? How did we start it?
Yeah.
The people that started it have escaped. On both sides. On both sides, they've come together and they've disappeared. And they've disappeared. So the thing is, when we take sides, sometimes we look at a situation and a personality, and that we hang on to. We look at a situation and a personality on the other, and we hang on to that. Our allegiance is sometimes based on emotions, and if your emotion is out there, someone come into a family and take this guy away, the emotion on the other side can be she lost her husband. You can see, while some people are saying you lost your husband, some people you say you killed you buried your husband. You know, and then at the end of the day, when she said and she made it clear, they won't let me talk. And then we are fighting ourselves. We are not focusing on who are they.
Who are the people?
Who are they is more important than the result of DNA.
Excuse me, please, can I ask a question?
And they're not even allowed,
they've been asking her who are they, but she's not telling us.
Yeah, but the day is more important than the DNA results.
But she needs to tell us who are they. We've been asking her, she's not telling us.
But it's not. You see, we all know it's not going. We don't know it's not going to.
Why do Baba
Because of the technicalities, the technicalities that the Punch cannot report on is already kicked into this case before now, and that's the reason why you have all this loose and ended situation where you cannot answer questions directly.
And the method at which we are asking the question, who are they? It's not when we tell the person that.
And when you say they, it means you know something. But when you say they, it could be a figure, or if you go, it could be a figure of speech based on something the process has not been allowed you to talk about. But because the case is now complicated, you'll be talking about it anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
You're still not going to be talking about it. So it is that DNA comes, motive or no motive, get your DNA result. First of all, DNA result is negative on the side that Mohbad the biological father, and then people are saying when we find the biological father, we will know who by them. What are we basing that on? As far as the case is concerned, what can we base that on? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is still resting of the narratives in the public space. It is a public's opinion. It still will not change the direction in which that case is going to go.
I want to ask you a question. Okay, let's say, because I've been wanting to ask that, let's say the thing comes out negative. Would that be send that to court and say, okay, because it comes out negative?
No. Okay. So this is what you look at. This is what you look at. If in this case there is a foundation. There is a foundation, and that foundation has a basis, and the basis is that if the result of the DNA is negative, we then believe that he's the father of the child that died Mohbad. Okay. Now that is not anywhere in scope at this point in time, but the public believes so. Do you understand where I'm coming from now?
What I'm saying is that I'm not talking about what the public would. I know that that's what the public believes. But what I'm saying is that let's say we got the results and it comes out negative, without being used in the court and to say that, okay, because it comes out negative, the Baba to the boy, because I don't want to mention his name, the boy, buy more. No, it can't be used.
It cannot be used because the request for DNA as perpetrated by the public is actually a notion that there's a foul play, right? The request for DNA from this old family side of things doesn't really have anything litigious in it. It doesn't really have anything that is tangible to it. And they don't want you to attach that to the case or taint the case. And that's the reason why they've told you it's a family affair that needs to be discussed amongst you as a family. But as far as this process is concerned, the outcome of that engagement still has no bearing on this case.
Good evening, everybody. Please, can I come in? The IT guy.
Carry on.
Okay, I've actually been enjoying your conversation, and I wanted to say something about this DNA issue. Everybody knows well. People know I'm a strong supporter of Wunmi. But when it comes to this DNA, I believe we are all, Baba's team, they've been backing on the wrong tree, because at the end of the day, even if DNA is done today and the baby is not from Mo, there's really nothing the police is going to do about it, because that can never be motive, because couples don't only have kids by biologically, it's not just biologically, they have kids by sperm donation, adoption, Anyhow,
How old is them?
so I think people are just focusing on this DNA. Then at the end of the day, when they do the DNA and it's actually Mohbad's child, so what's going to happen? Are they going to start all over again looking for a motive? If you get what I'm saying.
Personally, Mohbad did not.
This is what I said earlier, and I'm glad that you said something about you've always supported Wunmi, and there's nothing. I even wished Bolibi happy birthday earlier today. Today is her birthday. There is nothing wrong with us coming together and rubbing minds, because I think after 10 months, both camps should be fed up right now. It doesn't matter how negative we are to one another. The idea that there is a win situation in this case, there's no win situation in a case where someone who is widowed, listen to this, someone who is widowed is likely not to benefit from the proceeds of the husband that she served. And on the other hand, at the same time, someone who doesn't have the right to take someone's estate is likely to now benefit from the estates. So you can see that on both sides, it's still going to impact the person in question, similarly, whether the outcome is yes or no. Because one can have a positive more negative than the other, but at the end of the day, you still have family wrangling about rights to everything in any way anybody wants to see it. That will still persist. That we're not going to allow someone who doesn't deserve it to take it away. And someone is fighting. I'm not going to allow you not to recognize my child.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think I get what you're saying. But the thing is, as long as there was a marriage, which, you earlier said, a picture would have been posted, then an application for a certificate. No, what I know the Constitution says when it comes to traditional or customary marriage, it just needs two things. That's one, a bride price must be paid, and two witnesses. So it's not really about picture and all that. So,
guys, thank you for wishing Bolly happy birthday. Thank you,
Lilibeth. What I was saying is just that sometimes, from a customary point of view, they expect you. See, I didn't explain it properly. They expect you to do things in a certain way. But for as long as there is evidence that the marriage took place when it did,
exactly,
you will find out they still have.
The customer marriage has to do with everybody tradition. The Yoruba one is different, though. We need let me talk about the Olorebi. Yoruba believe in Olorebi in that customary marriage. We need to be clearing this thing out when we are saying customary marriage.
Madam T.B. Kenny, the Olorebi himself says a bride price was paid. So as long as the bride price was paid and they were
what I'm trying to say is everything we still, even the bride price was paid, everything will still go back to Olorebi according to the Yoruba tradition. Everything is still going back to Olorebi to be settled. I don't know how they do in another side.
Ma'am, what I'm saying is even different. I'm not talking about exactly. Anyway, that's what you're saying. I'm not here to argue. So, the IT guy, what I was saying about this marriage, as long as there was a marriage and this baby was born in the marriage, there's no how, if he now has to do with properties and all that, which now, because this case has even gotten to the legal aspect, there's nothing like the properties will be shared customarily. It's still going back to court. So if there's going to be like maybe administrators of the estate, blah, 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 probate courts, they'll deal with that. But that's even by the way, because nobody's talking about properties now. What we are talking about is this DNA issue. It has lingered on for too long. And I just believe people have just... Okay, why do Baba need to sign before Wunmi can do the DNA? Why do Baba need to sign?
Ma'am, there's nowhere Wunmi has ever come out to say
she doesn't want to do DNA. She has only come
No, that's not what I'm saying now. Why do Baba need to
that's why I'm going to answer
Which
you.
paper is Baba signing
She
before we make
has-
am do the DNA?
Madam Imole, she has always said she wanted to do DNA, but Baba asked her for DNA legally. He didn't call a family meeting. So if you send me a letter through your lawyers, of course I will respond through my lawyers. So that's what Wunmi has done. It was Baba's lawyer that sent her a letter, and as she has a right as the mother of her child.
It was Wunmi that said she wants to go to court for the DNA. And you could watch the Instagram. When she was even crying.
No. We are talking about November. It was
yeah, it's Wunmi.
Baba's lawyer that
come out
sent
and
Wunmi
said,
letter.
no, it was Wunmi that started
Is
that.
Iyabo a member of the family?
Let's talk about now, please. Why do Baba need to sign before we make
Baba never won the DNA in court. It was Wunmi that started it.
Yes, Wunmi said Baba.
Mama never won it. And that is when every time you go to all those platforms, they will say, Baba, go to court. Go to court.
Let's have an insight of this objectively.
Okay, please, can she answer this question?
Is asking a question. Hold on, Hold on,
yes.
You are asking a question. So the situation about who requests and who doesn't request is not a bone of contention right now, because the situation of who requests and who didn't and who signed is not what we're talking about now. What we're talking about right now, where Imolenemi, which may answer your question, is that now that there is a distraction in the case itself and there is a request for DNA. Now, the request that has actually been put out for DNA is complicated because a lot of factors, external factors, has been allowed to creep into it. So it's no longer a situation that is direct, do me DNA, this is it. It's a situation where you are doing a DNA based on certain conditions. And those conditions, the outcome of the DNA also may have ramifications. So now that the court is now decided that now this is not part of the case we are even talking about right now, we will bring you guys together in a family court and let you debate on how you want the DNA done and all that kind of stuff. Now, if they give them, let's say, 14 days or 28 days, and in 28 days, both parties now come together and they've now agreed to do DNA, they will have to sign a paper in the middle to say they've agreed to do the DNA on the following conditions. That is where both lawyers on both sides will be looking at the conditions on what is presented to them. And then obviously both parties, one side Wunmi and one side Baba. Now, if they haven't reached an agreement, as Punch is actually picked up right now, nobody is signing that, and those two parties have to sign it. So that the court can then guide them through what is agreed, and then the implication of the result of it is now dependent on how both parties present their case based on that agreement.
Okay.
So that is what I believe. A paper on the table is going to come for someone to sign something.
Yeah, if I can recall, I think it's only Wunmi that gave conditions. So
the conditions will still have ramification. But do you know those conditions? Do you know them?
Yes. It was read out.
Okay, go on.
I think,
enlighten us.
Well, the first one I remember was the court order. The second one was Baba would do his DNA and Mohbad's DNA. But I think the last, the sitting before this, I'm not sure. I think they said that's out of it, that since the body is available, then they can do it straight away. And I think the other condition was the DNA will be done in 3 places, 3 countries, one in Nigeria, the other in UK, and the other in America. I think it's just that 3. I'm not too sure. But yes, those were stated. So I think that's what has not been agreed to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, because we are not there, we don't know.
And our conditions are actually very legit. Excuse me.
Imole, even though you interjected, ask that question again, please. Imole, you say just ask that question again. What did you say?
Yeah, I can hear
Can you
you.
hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm talking about the paper.
Elizabeth, just
They
let
said
her
I need to sign.
We can hear you, yes. Go on, Imole.
I'm talking about the paper. I'm talking about the paper they said Baba need to sign. They said Wumi said Baba should sign some paper before they can do the DNA. So
I think
I'm asking, what is in that paper? What is the condition in that paper?
No.
Yeah, I've just said
First of all, hold on, Lilibet.
Yeah.
We need to be very, very careful. Yeah, the court and the confidentiality around this case will not allow them to tell you why. But you just know that when the negotiation is done and everybody is happy, anyone who is both sides are ready to sign will sign. But I don't think they will share that information with us. That's the thing. We know the case is to do with DNA. We know we are getting close to a point where they're likely to come and tell us they have agreed. But
So that
paper still
means
needs to be signed.
you don't want the results to be public, right?
It is not a matter of the result will come out to the public eventually. But what is leading on, the information cannot be divulged. Conditions in there, they will not tell the public because they are not allowed to. So all we can do is speculate.
Wunmi put Baba on condition before she can do Liam's DNA?
It is because they've allowed the situation to drag. The situation is gone public when it probably not supposed to be public. The request was made public when it's not supposed to be public. And it was after it's gone. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That is the reason why Baba came public to say it.
Baba probably wanted to do a gentleman's agreement and approach Wunmi to do DNA. I don't think the legal process has gone into it initially. It's when one-to-one lawyer and one-to-one personal, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, is when that thing did not kick in. And then Wunmi then resisted. Since this whole thing actually started in public when it should have gone through a different process, she then insisted that if you've gone public with it and you've done this to me in public, go and bring your court order. And a court order in this case, because there is no criminality, attached to it. There is no criminality attached to it, and the Baba Mohbad team can find a proper foundation that they can use to propose doing a DNA.
Okay,
they now have to assign the situation to a family court.
Okay, Young Happy, you said if I'm the one, would I let me see you. Yes, I can make it public, okay? I will not give him any condition. And even if the DNA is done, I can make it public because I don't have anything. I'm not hiding anything. Wunmi is hiding something. She is hiding something. She's not pure. That is the reason why she's putting that man on so many conditions before she can do the DNA. DNA is not a death sentence. I don't know the reason why she asked for court order and she came out to say, I will not do the DNA. I will do the DNA. I will not do the what rubbish is that? If you are 100% sure Liam is Mohbad's child, I'm sure Wunmi will not ask for court order before she will do this DNA. Do you think Baba will see Liam as his child? He will say, he's not happy. He will be happy because he lost 27-year-old son. And if you say Liam is his child, you think he will be sad. He will be very happy. It's because you are not sure of yourself. Wunmi is
Madam
not sure of
Imole, can I
herself.
ask you a
She's
question?
not, let me
I'm
finish,
sorry
please.
I dropped earlier on my
She is not sure of
sorry.
herself. That is the reason why she is putting that man on so many conditions so that this DNA will not be done. And Wunmi, you must do this DNA not because of what spy Mohbad only, even to protect Liam's future. And you have to do this DNA and make the results public. If you don't do that, you are going to regret this for the rest of your life. I'm not cursing you.
Yeah,
I'm really saying the truth.
Exactly,
Madam
that's
Imole,
what I was going to
Lilibet.
say. This is the
Lilibet.
reason why she will not do it. Who are you to
This is
order?
why
She will.
Lilibet, wait,
Who
give
are
me 1
you?
second.
You are
Madam
related to
Imole.
this family. This is a mother of her own child. You cannot dictate
It's
to her.
that's
You
what to
cannot
do
tell
with
her
what
you
spy
must.
Mohbad.
Are you the police?
Some women marry their husband because of bastard child. Do you know that?
Imole, wait, Madam Imole. This is one of the reasons why they have not gotten a good result. And they have not gotten a court something. That's what we are still discussing right now. Saying that because public keep pushing different things and it's still going to affect. They won't be able to sign anything. And the court is still going to tell you that whatever they call it external factors. All those external factors is just what you're doing right now. It's what you're doing right now. What if the DNA comes in positive? What of it comes in positive? So let's be mindful and make this thing.
Let's think both ways.
No, you're not thinking both ways. You're saying you're saying it is. There's a motive. She buy. She bought. You don't need all these things, madam. You know what?
Have you ever thought that? Have you ever thought why has the police not asked for DNA today? Because they don't care about that. It doesn't show any motive.
No,
That is a
DNA is a must.
Okay, why did Wunmi lie that they did not fight? Why did Wunmi say his boy that fought Mohbad last?
Question, please. The IT guy.
See, IT guy is like, I would like to go right now. Because
let's leave this thing on a good note. You see, your contribution has been very sort of like transparent and been very useful, and I think we've engaged appropriately well. And then we've got up to a point where we're talking about a way forward. We're not talking about people taking us back to the past. What anything, we need to focus on the status quo right now. The status quo, as Lilibet is said, the police are not requesting DNA for starters. They are not interested in DNA, and there's no way in the case there's any criminality to lead any aspect of their findings to DNA. So even if this DNA is done between family where it should be, and they will then deal with their own family matter that looks like a civil case among themselves, whether they are fighting for property, they are fighting for will, or they are fighting for whatever the case may be. But this particular case carries on with the information we have that doesn't have any reflection of DNA attached to it in any way whatsoever. Let's focus on what is real. Let's dialogue logically. Even if we're doing it emotionally, let's be respectful. But most important thing, let's just know that it doesn't matter which side you support, the outcome of the DNA is not going to change anything about this case. It is still not going to tell us how and who spied Mohbad. It is just going to benefit the family to negotiate in the background, fight for themselves for portfolio, royalty, property. What is that got to do with us? What is it got to do with us? If you want to link this DNA to the child, and even if the result came that Liam is not Mohbad's son, which direction are you now going to be going to forget about the case now and be chasing who is the father of the child? That's not going to get us anywhere. Who is the father of the child? I will tell you who is the father of the child is today. Whoever that person turns out to be. Is that going to tell us what happened in the last 72 hours of this guy's fight? He's not going to tell us anything. It's going to make some people start talking about royalty is going to come this way. When we get this, can we get this land? Baba Mohbad won't get anything. Is that why we are here? Are we fighting for Baba Mohbad or we're fighting for Mohbad?
Can I just say something, guys?
We are not fighting for Baba Mohbad. We are fighting for Mohbad to get.
So you are fighting for Baba Mohbad right now?
No. I'm not fighting for Baba Mohbad. I'm not fighting. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm not fighting for Baba Mohbad, and this DNA issue is part of it.
Okay.
Because I don't understand the reason why she is giving the man condition, telling him to get court order before she can do the DNA. She's really sure that Liam is Mohbad's child. And I don't know the reason why she take Mohbad to 2 hospitals and return him home instead of taking him to the morgue.
Going to what we just said.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
In this conversation.
We've told you where we are today. It doesn't really matter how many wrongs that we can put together. We cannot make a right by the result of the DNA and the interest in the DNA. There's a difference between the court saying family matter and the DNA having nothing to do with the case at the moment. The public have their own opinion and we are welcome to it. So carry on, Lilibeth.
It's got so much to do with this case. The DNA has so much to do with it. You can go on.
Imole, the DNA has so much. Okay. Now you people make me. Okay, so I was just gonna. My days. I've kind of lost what I was gonna say, but basically, it's still just we've been backing at the wrong. But in the real sense, this is what Wunmi supporters have been saying from the beginning, like the very beginning. They've made this whole thing about DNA. So it now looks like we've just been arguing, and it now looks like we are defending. We are not defending Wunmi. We are just trying to set it out that this is wrong. And it's not leading anywhere. That's why the police, because you even said a statement not too long. You said if it was abroad. Okay, so now, I want to ask you this question. In England, right, do you think the police would first do DNA? Let's say there was a case like this.
First of all, anywhere else, even in Nigeria, DNA situation may not have come up. But in this instance, I would not really see any reason, because it would have been a family situation and then something happened and you can't just start talking about DNA. They will just do the cause of death, which is the inquest. They find out the cause of death. They found that it's
up, please, because I don't really want to argue with anybody. So with what I
But it's not a matter of argument. That I want to chip in something here.
Okay.
What I want to chip in is that the issue of DNA came in because of what they told Baba Mohbad, because of the statement of spending, because of the statement of crime board, and because of the narrative that
Spending spoke some months ago. DNA has been since October or September, so it's not crime boy and all that. No.
They put more light. Spending put more light to the issue of DNA, and because of what some people have been saying in the industry regarding the Women and Mohbad relationship.
The prince, all that is hearsay. It doesn't hold in the court of law. My point is, the only time the police will investigate a crime of passion is when there's evidence of cheating. And when I say evidence, we're talking about maybe text messages, video evidences, or caught in the act. But a child is not an evidence of cheating all the time, because children are born in different ways. I mean, children are gotten in different ways. So what if Wunmi and Mohbad adopted and it was just between them? What if anything could have happened? Is the police going to look into that and hold that responsible?
That was not the case. That was not well known.
You do not know. Listen, you do not know. It's not about where they signed or not. You don't know what goes on between couples. But in this case,
they should bring out they have any evidence regarding this.
Defending rubbish. Stop defending rubbish.
I'm telling you the reason why DNA cannot be done by the police or the court.
Stop saying somebody is saying
I'm
rubbish.
not defending
it's
that.
very, very wrong.
I'm telling you
can
why.
let her talk. You can give her submission. Don't say she's defending rubbish. No,
just
let's be respectful with our conversation.
So my point is just in the court.
I beg, please stop fighting. This is a peaceful debate, not that I beg.
Yeah. In the court, I remember in the inquest, when they wanted to bring up DNA issue, the judge said, no, don't bring that up, because this is an inquest about what killed Mohbad. It's not about an inquest about finding out the paternity of his son. That just shows how inconsequential DNA is in this case. But Baba's team has made it all about DNA. No. So we need to start getting our points right if we really want justice. Because it's not making sense. Okay, let's not assume they do DNA and Mohbad is not Liam's father, which is 1,000,000,000% impossible anyways. So if they now go and is not the father, it doesn't change anything, because autopsy doesn't say Mo was stabbed or killed by Wunmi or anything. As long as the scientific evidence doesn't show, then it's a waste. I think Baba's supporters, the reason why you people are getting it wrong is because you keep saying that, the Mohbad was stabbed, Mohbad was killed, Mohbad was poisoned. I think what you people should be fighting for is, what is the cause of that mark? I mean, the little wound he had on his hand, rather. I think that will make more sense. Then you people can now be saying, he got that wound and the nurse was called. And so the reason for that wound is maybe Wunmi was fighting with him, not Prime Boy. Then it will make sense. But if you people are saying, he was stabbed, and the evidence doesn't say he was stabbed, then it's a waste of time. Because when you do this autopsy,
you guys are very close. You guys are very close to Wunmi and Adram. Cool. You should be able to ask that question and able to establish it.
There's nothing to ask, because she has answered. And even the scientific evidence has answered that question. Was
it stabbed or not? Was it stabbed or not?
The scientific evidence has answered, right? The autopsy says there was no stab.
But one of you just came up here and said, one of you just came up here and said Baba Mohbad carry his son from the pool of blood and go and bury.
That's what Baba said himself now. He said
that he saw Mohbad in a pool of blood, right?
And that's Baba's words now. That's Baba's words. That's not
that he saw Mohbad in a pool of blood.
That's what he
Baba
said.
said.
Yes.
That's
That's
why
what he
in a
said.
pool of blood.
He said the duvet was soaked with blood. That's what he said. Nobody else said that in the house. Do you get what we mean?
What about Mama Mohbad sister?
Mama Mohbad's sister was not in that house.
She's lying
not
too.
there. She was not there.
Mama
She
Mohbad's
came
sister
there.
talk about blood. Baba talk
I
about
have
blood.
the video where she said it.
Yeah, she could have said it,
Even
but she wasn't called to
this
the
guy talk about
inquest.
blood. Wumi even talk about blood. All of them say
She
something
talked
about blood.
about blood because
The
he was.
prince.
There is a picture.
Let's get no, hold on, Imol enemy. Let's get something straight. Baba did not find Mohbad in a pool of blood and go and bury him. Take that back. They found pool of blood on the duvet.
I know.
No, don't say you know. Don't mislead us with your narrative. That's what I'm saying.
No. Please listen to
Don't
the
polish
prince.
it up. He did not say he saw in a pool of blood. He did not see him in a pool of blood.
Can you wait?
Oh my God. Wumi team came here this afternoon to say it.
I said that Baba carry Mohbad in a pool of blood and go and bury. That's I said someone said it. I didn't say.
I don't think anybody will say that. I doubt if anybody will say that.
Someone who came here to say that. The music. Can you say something about that?
I mean, let's say
What I know.
you will know you don't even have to pay to such.
Excuse me. What I
You know you don't have to pay attention to that.
But the person was asking it to just hear.
Yeah, her name is Abby Touch.
The son was under the stairs before he went up. So how is he able to find him in a pool of blood when he's under the stairs?
He mistakenly said that because Mohbad was bleeding. They stabbed him, and they don't want anybody to know.
Nobody stabbed anybody. You don't have evidence. Nobody stabbed anybody. You don't have evidence.
There is a picture where
anybody was stabbed.
Duvet was soaked with blood.
There is no evidence that anybody was stabbed. Nobody was stabbed.
Baba's lawyer saying
there's no evidence.
I will look for that picture and bring it.
Okay, why is Greg?
Hold on. Hey, please stop saying that he was stabbed. That there's a picture. Anything you don't have facts for, please don't say it on this platform.
Don't say it here. It is wrong.
Stop misleading people, please.
Well, for someone to say he found his son, his child in a pool of blood, look, let's take things in the right order. And if we have one on one side, let's just do it as intelligent as we can, as logically as we can. Everybody definitely have their own opinion, but don't let's start misleading ourselves. We shouldn't mislead ourselves with someone stabbing somebody. Remember, Baba Mohbad's camp, they are now in a position that they are allowed to go and do their own independent autopsy and toxicology now. So if they then get there and they found that there's a stab wound, let them come and tell us. But at this point in time, the police haven't told you anybody stabbed anybody. And the idea of profusely is to do with a statement that came out of one of the witnesses or whoever puts in their statement. So, let's take things in order. Let's get emotional if we have to, because we are human beings. For wrong narratives, let's just rule that wrong narratives out of the process.
Even the police are the one that caused a lot of confusion. Who told them that the Mohbad beat previously? They didn't tell us.
The CTC is there, remember. I think we all need to focus on the CTC.
No, I'm talking about
that is the evidence that they give to the police.
When they give their
you see, it is an interesting use of word. It's a very interesting use of word, which may be the wrong word that is used at the wrong time. But the thing is, the only thing we can remember is profusely, and everybody reading profusely, you would have been stabbed. They talk about and all this kind of stuff that they were talking. Police did not have evidence. Police did not have evidence that he was bleeding profusely. Police did not have evidence that It's coming from a witness's statement. Coming from a witness's statement. If police see Mohbad bleeding profusely, are you telling me they will just walk away? They did not see him bleeding profusely. They are reading off a witness's statement.
The police say the truth there. It's true that Mohbad bled profusely because there is a
video. Him bleed profusely.
If you watch this video, this short
forget
video,
about video. It's not admissible in this case. It is not admissible. It is still not admissible in this case. It is not admissible in this case.
You understand what I'm saying?
It is not admissible. Why are you concocting this? What you saw on social media and this case are two different things.
System want to go.
It's two different things we're talking about. Let's be very, very careful about what we are saying. The CTC is there. If you are confused, go and read it. But don't come and say someone was stabbed.
We are still on this shit.
Bleeding profusely is a police putting stuff together about what they read of the statement. If the person that said they were bleeding profusely is being able to come up with work and stand in court, they would have presented it to us now. But there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we have to speculate. When you look at this thing, the people that are saying someone is stabbed, if you know the countless parts of the body that everybody is coming up with, so which one is which? Description is description, but we will get up to a point when you do your independent autopsy and toxicology, and you do that, you're able to put it together, and they've showed you all the incision around the part of the body where they removed organs to test in places. At least anywhere that you find a mark that doesn't have anything to do with an organ, you can question it. If it then turns out to be a wound, you should be able to see it. Regardless of whether that body is decayed or not, there will still be foundation to do with something out of the ordinary. So if we get the information, let's not start directing information at videos that may have been doctored, videos with no audio, video that the audio seems as if what they are saying doesn't correlate with what is in the video, and none of it. Police have not presented any one of it as part of what they were allowed to be part of the case. And we are directing ourselves, go and watch this video, go and watch this video. Look at it.
Because there's just too many insinuations.
Can I ask you a question?
Too many insinuations.
I'm listening.
Stories.
Do you think the Nigerian police are doing the right thing regarding this case?
Look, the Nigerian police have done anything they can do. The situation is going anywhere it can go. We don't have a ground that we can use to measure the Nigerian police, whether they are doing a great job, whether they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether they are the same and they have changed or they haven't changed. So the situation with the Nigerian police is actually that. Nigerian police have presented something to you, and that's the Nigerian police. Yes.
What you're saying now that we should just follow whatever the Nigeria police and the Nigeria justice system is doing regarding justice for Mohbad.
You see, sometimes patience is a virtue. And in a technical case like this, patience is what will actually sort of like ensue eventually. So the situation right now is actually that. The public doesn't have any power whatsoever, but we have a voice on social media. So we cannot really do anything. We cannot impact this whole process. None of us will be brought in as a witness. None of us have the audacity to say we have forensic information that the police can use. So we now have a system that we now have to look at the system. We know what we are waiting for is the full outcome of the inquest, because the inquest is delivered to say inconclusive deaths or circumstances surrounding the death. Now we are now going to go and do our own toxicology and our own autopsy, what if ours also come out as inconclusive? Where do we go from there? Yeah, so this is the reason why I'm saying this is not see, because a case hasn't started. We, the public, we are far away from the inquest. Everything that we have been debating is after the inquest, but the inquest hasn't delivered anything to us.
I thought
so. At the end of the day, yeah, if the police don't have anything more to say, and they've done the additional test, and it is still inconclusive, the police is out of it because there is no case against the police, because you can now, at that point in time, not to bring anything to the case about police carelessness. So we need to focus on what is going to happen before the inquest or the submission. We also know that DNA is neither here nor there. So what the police has done, the police also, they will not have much to say right now because they've delivered everything to the inquest. It's up to the inquest to actually take us to a point where they believe the police have a case to answer. And if Baba Mohbad's team are successful in putting petition in place right now to petition the police force before the outcome of the inquest, then we have a case with the police. Then
what
the police can review
what would
the situation.
the petition be for, please? What would it be for?
You see, the thing is, if you have a ground to believe that the police haven't done their work in their investigation, and you have the grounds for their foundations, if you can find those foundations and you can put it together without implicating yourself, which I think that if these people want to sue the Nigerian police, they are complicit in their own right, because even their own story doesn't really corroborate properly. They are still giving information.
Do you know that Baba was asked on Arise that have you sued anybody? Until now, he hasn't sued anybody.
He hasn't.
So don't you think
why hasn't he?
Exactly.
Does he have a situation where he could implicate himself? And because he himself is not clean, he's now not able to go and sue the Nigerian police.
Thank you. I don't know why people can't think like that. That don't you think this man's story isn't as true as he's putting it out? Because if I was so sure about my story, I'll be suing everybody.
I'm not saying the man is done. I'm not saying hold on, TB Kenny. What Lilibet is trying to say, if you understand it very well, if you understand what Lilibet is trying to say, I think I understand because I discussed it on a different platform yesterday. What she is trying to say is quite simple. Oh, someone is echoing now. The prince, that's the prince. It's all right. So we kind of end up in a position. Actually, my line of thought is just being distorted right now. Go on, remind me, Lilibet.
The police are suing people. That why is Baba not yet?
Yeah. So what we have in that area that I can see is that if you want to sue this, it would have been you yourself haven't actually made mistake in the process, and as you yourself have been truthful to the process, you've been able to tell us exactly the story of how you got the news, who gave you the news, who you spoke with first, and all that kind of stuff. And then you would have been also in a position that you've gone to the police station and all that kind of stuff. After leaving the police station, you thought the best thing to do is just to go and bury the guy straight away and all that kind of stuff. So there are certain aspects of the way someone has done something. We are not perfect, and we don't know if we are in that position, we'll make the same mistake. So if you want to sue the police for negligence and you want to sue the police for them not carrying out their duties appropriately, you also, your conduct in the process leading to what you want to sue the police about must also be squeaky clean. Because remember, for everybody you put a petition to, there is always counter petition. Sometimes you can petition and counter petition can come out to hit you really hard.
100%.
So in that instance, someone will be cautious to that extent. But that is the kind of things you want to see before the full outcome of the inquest. And then once the inquest is actually sort of like been read and they say both parties have now agreed that it's inconclusive, you tell me what you're going to now say the police is done. Because what you want the inquest to do is to give you the time of death and the cause of death. If it's inconclusive, and both parties.
I need to stop this.
Police doing anything they have to do.
They didn't do a good job. They didn't.
There is nothing in the
They left the
TB Kenny. There's nothing in the process of this case right now.
The house. They didn't do it. They don't do an interrogation. They didn't do an investigation.
Until you get there.
Police in Nigeria, and all of us, we know what they did were bad, but because we want to be on one side, we agree they are doing good.
Why can't Baba Mohbad petition the police?
Before we know
why can't he has a right. He has a right on the ground. Why can't he petition the police?
For everybody to be going and be coming.
It's okay. Get Baba to petition the police.
I'm not.
Why not?
Baba find himself in a situation that he can't. I mean, is it a crime to be poor in Nigeria?
It is not. Baba is not poor. Please stop saying that. Baba is not poor. Baba is being backed by the public, and the public is rich. The public is rich. Baba is not poor.
I pray all of us don't go through this. You know the police didn't do a good job. They left the scene of the crime. They didn't seal it up. They didn't do anything. And you said the police is doing a good job.
It is up to Baba and his team to address that.
Let me give an example.
Please.
Is Baba not doing enough about all these things? No, he's not.
He has lawyers and public is donating money. He has lawyers.
He's going to get his back together, but we shouldn't blame him. We should blame that system. We should be able to blame the police so they can do better.
Let's not look at a weakness. Let's not bring strength out of weaknesses. We cannot bring strength out of weaknesses. Baba Mohbad is not poor. He's not poor. He's with his full faculty. He's been bankrolled by the public. So the money is there.
Everybody minded.
The lawyers are there.
Is different. But the police that we call the law enforcement did a bad job. I can never give them.
But the thing is, that is not where we are right now. That is not going to tell us who killed Mohbad.
Did a bad job.
It's not going to tell us who killed Mohbad. That's not where we are.
There was a guy in the car that said, Mohbad is dead. Did they interrogate that person? No.
But that is
if there is a reason for them to go down that route.
All of us live in the Western world. We know everybody will have been rounded up and be interviewed. Anybody that has a contact with that dead body will have been rounded up.
Okay. Let me say something. I don't live in Nigeria and I live in a very advanced country. But let me tell you what happened to somebody I know. Her husband was just too.
Well, I'm going to drop because I just closed from work and I need to go. Okay. I need to drive.
So her husband was coughing, and all of a sudden he fell down and died. And the police, the ambulance, the police, all of them came and all that. They took him away. Eventually, when it happened, the house was not sealed, and this is not Nigeria. Eventually, they did autopsy and they found out that he died of natural causes. So now my point is, what if he had a father like Baba, and let's say Baba, the father of the boy now says, oh, he saw blood, blah 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 blah. So are we going to start saying the police did a bad job for not sealing up the house? I'm just trying to bring out these points that it's not all the time the police will seal a house, because people die at home all the time. That doesn't mean the police did a bad job. So we're saying the police didn't do a good job because they didn't say. Their main evidence is the body. The body is going to tell us what happened to the person that died. So the police not sealing the house to me.
Now, if we look at a process,
it's not all the time police can seal off the. Somebody died in my house here. A brother, key brother. You know how many days before I can get into my apartment?
Light on.
It's my house. Light on.
Wherever you are.
For a week, I can't get into my apartment. What are you talking about?
Hold on. wherever you are, wherever you are, wherever you are.
I'm in
America. Let me learn. Let me speak.
The case was in the Google. Let me give you the date and time. You will see
It's okay. I want to make a point.
What are you talking about?
I want to make a point. Wherever you are, the situation in this case is actually that the body is being moved. The police was not called. The police was not invited. The body is being moved and the body is traveled out of the house. It's gone to hospital. It's gone places. It's slept on the street overnight and is now come to the house.
Doesn't matter.
No, hold on. Let me finish. When the body then landed in the house, still without police involvement, the next thing is we are burying the body. Without the public outcry, we're not going to be talking about what we're talking about today. If everything had gone according to plan originally, we would have probably forgotten about this whole process, but the fact that the body was exhumed due to public outcry, so you can see, let's not liken a situation that is not similar to this case. In the West, when something like this happens, hold on, let me. You will call the police. You will call the ambulance. Let me finish. I'm not talking about anything technical here. I'm just trying to make it simple. In England, if something happens to somebody, is out of your control, you call the ambulance. The ambulance, emergency service, and you may need to call the police. And based on what the ambulance people actually see when they get there, they may need to alert the police. And then it becomes an investigation. And whatever you are saying will ensue. They seal the place if they believe that a crime is being committed and all that kind of stuff. But you are looking at an instant, a situation like this, when before you know what's going on, someone has been buried. However quick someone makes a decision, so the body just travel from here to there. The body is left the house and gone walkies. When the body is supposed to go to the morgue, it's come back to the house. And then from the house, we've decided that what we're going to do as a family is we're going to bury him. Where did we bring police into the case, apart from going to police station?
Why did they bring the body back to the house?
No, but that is what, hold on, the press. That is what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to make is that let's not look at this situation as a normal situation that we've got police involved properly in the first place. We haven't. So when police then came out of this whole picture, what you classing as a crime scene, it's a semi-crime scene now. They buried Mohbad for 9 days. After 9 days is when they exhumed the body. So which crime scene are we talking about? Because we did not get the police involved. So we, the people that are reporting and administering the process, we haven't done things appropriately.
Abi, you live in England. Did you wash in a crime wash? Did you ever wash in a crime scene? There's a
what lady, I'm trying to say.
There's a lady that finds a body in a park. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this story.
Don't link the two together.
Okay, let me tell you this story. This lady is about 21 years old girl. They find the body in a park. After he died in a week. So they find the body in a park. They put it in a baggage bag where the children playing. So they find the body, fine. They link this to the house where they killed this lady. They cut this guy into pieces. After a week, there's a spray, there's a torchlight that they will use, they will find the trace of blood. Even in 2 months, they will go back to that house. They have a spray, they have a torchlight. When they spot the torchlight, it's going to turn green. That's a blood spot. Even when you put a chicken blood, it will turn green. When they find a woman blood, they will turn green. Let me tell you about my own too. I told you somebody killed my tenant, brother killed brother. After months, everything was solved by police. When I'm cleaning, I still find the blood under the carpet. I still find the blood when I'm cleaning the apartment. Under the carpet, what are you talking about? Go and watch Crime Watch. Go to Google, different crime scene.
Sorry. I was muted. Why at this point in time can't Baba and his legal team petition the police?
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm asking you that question.
I don't know why
After
Baba
10 months.
petition the police. I don't know.
After
But
10 months, why?
police, they don't do nothing. The police
This
they
is
didn't
this
do
is
nothing.
the
They
you
didn't
see when
To
we
me,
when
they
we
don't
look
do
at
nothing.
it when we look at the situation, it's simple for us to believe that police hasn't done anything, and I probably will agree with you. That's a general opinion, right? Okay, the police haven't done the greatest of efforts to give us something substantial that we can actually trust that they did a proper investigation, if there's such thing as a proper investigation. But the bottom line at this point in time is that if Baba actually feel there's an injustice carried out in the way the police have actually handled the case, do you not think this is an opportunity before the final result of the inquest for Baba and his legal team to actually find a way of petitioning the Nigerian police? Lighton, are you there?
Hello, my service is very bad. Can I drop and come back?
Okay, fine.
It's very bad.
Yeah, so the where we are right now, anyone can come up and say, if we believe that the Nigerian police haven't done a great job, why hasn't Baba and his legal team petitioned the Nigerian police? Because they actually can. They should be able to petition the police for any form of any wrongdoing or any lapse in the system that is actually slowing the process of getting justice or bringing people who are probably, how can I put it, who should be brought to justice in a way, to follow the course. So I believe Nigerian police haven't done a great job, and I believe that if they've done a thorough job, by now we would have got justice. And it probably would have actually sort of like been resolved as early as now. We're now in a position where the result of the inquest is coming to an end. There is no criminality per se, apart from talking about a nurse and a possibility that someone fought him. Whichever way, we know the witnesses, we know the suspects, but we're in a position where we believe that the police really could have done more. Shouldn't Baba and his legal team be petitioning the Nigerian police now? That's where we are at the moment. Oh, so you have to come in because everybody is disappeared of this section.
I saw the IT guy. I saw that.
Because me, I'm in to have a dialogue. I'm in to have a good dialogue, and then we just need to start looking at things objectively. I am in for justice for Mohbad. I'm not interested in what Baba and his people are doing. I'm not interested in what Wumi and Wumi people are doing. What I'm interested in is that if Baba, Mohbad and his legal team are on the side of justice, they need to then work with the public so that we can get this justice in the most appropriate way possible. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's the way I say it. Is the day when you're having a debate, it is not about which side you are on, but it's about looking at things objectively. And everybody keeps saying the police are not doing a great job. Okay, they haven't done a great job. Let's petition the Nigerian police. Come on, the capacity is there. What is stopping the process? Because the public can't do anything on their own, because there is no foundation on which Baba Mohbad is signed up that the public can act on his behalf, which means it's him and his legal team, Muiwa and the rest of them, that have the power to kind of engage with the system. And they're the one that should have the power to be able to put something together to say, you have acted unjustly in this case. We are not happy with the outcome of this. Now we are petitioning Nigerian police based on XYZ. And it hasn't happened.
The IT guy, from my own perspective, I believe the police. I believe now. I think they've gone as far as they can. They have to wait for the outcome of the inquest, which might probably bring in another lead or another conclusion, which can now draw them to a different dimension from what they have now. You don't have the cause of death from the inquest. So what again do you want the police to do?
Yeah, because that's what we've debated. But then the two people that left last are saying because the police haven't done a great job and all that kind of stuff, then it is going to a point. And I said, if that is the case, even if they've done what they can do and they haven't done it appropriately or properly, and then you actually find a basis to believe that due to their carelessness, this hasn't happened, that hasn't happened, this is where we are, blah, blah, blah. What is stopping them petitioning the police? Even because you can do that, you can even do that before the outcome of the inquest. It can be done before the outcome of the inquest.
Even when Baba said he went to the police station to get a police report, I believe Baba should have petitioned that station to bring them to to the table and ask. I came to your station for the report, because if it has given me the report, I would have taken the body to the hospital, then the autopsy or the toxicology would have been done. Because the main issue, the main reason why they didn't have a good a conclusive report from the autopsy of toxicology is because they didn't have evidence to put the body. So the body couldn't stay in the mortuary because there was no police report. So now there's a reason for Baba to petition the police station and say, I brought the body to your police station, but you didn't give me the report to take the body to the mortuary.
So simple. Why do you think, and everybody is asking the question, and they've had an answer before, and the answer is being from Mohbad, we haven't petitioned anyone. Why do you think that Baba and Baba Sim are reluctant to even go anywhere near questioning the police on this matter?
From my own perspective, I believe something is wrong somewhere. I believe something is really, really wrong somewhere. And when they said the petition, what's the name of Darusha for embalming the body, and we heard like a kind of a rumor that Darusha was saying that at the police station that we didn't go to any police station. Do you understand what I mean? So
yeah, I mean this
so
kind of thing is okay. This what you said that they didn't go to any police station. Did that come from a CTC? Or is this essay on?
No, that didn't come from a CTC. Even Baba did not say that he went to a police station in the CTC.
and people have the audacity. People have the audacity to say that Nigerian police haven't done a great job.
So Paparano have said this so many times that Baba did not say this. Baba did not say he saw a pool of blood at the police station. He only said that at the inquest.
Which should have been it should have been in his report, and he wants to go, and we now want to look for a ground to question the Nigerian police when even with us we can't give a full account of what we saw.
But even when the police even when the police was giving their initial report, they said that the family had a short meeting, and from there, they moved to Ikorodu to bury the body. So there was no, in police initial reports, there was no where they said that they went to the police station. So now, for me, if Baba said, because it's been saying that he went to the police station, that there's no report. So you should go back and sue the police and ask
for not providing the results. Go and sue them for me coming to your police station and writing a report, and for you telling me that I did not write a report.
Yeah, so I think from there, I think from there.
You owe me an apology, and the apology is simple. Yeah, I am Wendy Gold, and I owe you an apology too. Let me say I'm sorry.
Wendy who?
Where I insulted you.
when they go.
Oh, my guy. Look, you see me. I don't see color and I don't see name. I engage with people. That's all I do. Nothing more than that. I don't come to this platform. I don't come to this platform to come and fight anybody. I just engage with people.
We are not fighting.
I don't see name. I don't see color. I don't see tribe. I don't see nothing.
You know why I said that?
Yes.
There was this Sunday that I went on Papayano's stage platform and I was about to engage him. You were there. And instead of you to kind of like, okay, let's engage. The next thing you said was like, I should go to the women platform that I'm coming from.
No, look, if I address you as Wendy now, you see what happened on that day is that we have a number of people that have come on Paparano's platform already. They are selling narratives similar to yours already. So Woto is already started on that platform already. So when you came, someone has just dropped off, and then you came up with the same similar kind of narrative, and I just jumped on your neck straight away. So, but for what it's worth, at the end of the day,
and I was like,
if you look at this platform, if you look at this platform and you think about how this platform is being moderated today and how people have been civil to one another, even the people that want to get upset are not allowed to be upset because we address ourselves with respect. Any woto anywhere, nobody will. But on that night in question, there was serious fight.
Lucy, ìyàwó lẹ́gbàá tó ti mẹ́kà dére o. Ẹ wo ẹ̀yìn kí lélẹ̀ bébí kí n sùn lélẹ̀. Ẹ wo èèyàn. Who is this?
Hey God.
Ẹ wo Kudi. This is after coming from Mecca. Who is she deceiving? Ènìyàn mi ṣe ra rẹ̀ ó láyé ṣòun ta ló ń deceive ẹ wọ̀nyàn. Look at breast. Ẹ wọ̀nyàn ń ta. Elijah, ìyàwó ilé, irresponsible harlot. Ẹ wọ̀nyàn.